Hello, South Shore. Welcome back to third grade online with Miss Nazaripour. Today we're going to navigate away from opinion writing, and I have a fun writing project for you to do today. But before we do that, I want to have some real talk about writing, because I've been hearing two different things when I'm talking to you and when I'm talking to your families. Lots of you are saying that you're having a good time writing at home, and that's great. Some of you are saying, though, that you're having a little bit of anxiety or you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and I'm hearing this from your families too. So I want to just remind you how we write and what your teachers, whether it's me, Mr. Moreno, or Miss Bedford, what our expectations are of you during writing time. Every day, I'm going to come on here Monday through Friday and teach you a lesson about writing that goes along with the unit that we would be studying if we were in school, opinion writing. And then you're going to have a chance to practice, just like we do at school. The teacher teaches a lesson, and then you practice it, but you don't write necessarily an entire prompt or finish an entire opinion paper. Remember that when we write independently at school, we usually have about 20 to 25 minutes to write, just solid writing time after the lesson. And that's our expectation for you at home as well. No, none of your teachers expect you to write for hours and hours at a time to finish an entire prompt. Pace yourself. We're going to be learning a whole unit, and over this whole unit you'll have lots of chances to practice, and at the end what my hope is that you'll have a full 4-paragraph essay, opinion essay, a persuasive essay, to try and convince people, your audience, of something that you think or believe. I don't expect you to be writing a 4-paragraph essay every day and finishing it. Now, it's probably really smart to pick an opinion that you have and stay with that opinion until you've got the whole thing written. And that might take you several days, and that's okay. If we were in school, it would be taking you several days too. Now, this unit is going to last us about 3 to 4 weeks. We've already done 1 week, so it'll probably last us another 3 weeks. And by the time that's done, you are going to have had lots of practice writing both in paragraph form and writing about your opinion. So, long story short, write independently for about 20 to 25 minutes. If you want to write a little bit longer, I'm not stopping you, but don't feel like you have to finish a prompt every single day. You have to write independently every day because that's what grows your brain and grows you as an author. Okay, but don't stress yourself out. Remember, in school, 20 to 25 minutes, same expectations for at home. Okay, now what we're gonna do today, like I said, we're gonna take a little detour from opinion writing and have a fun Friday writing prompt. We're gonna write letters. I'm going to model for you how to write a letter, and then your job is to pick at least one person from school, any third grader. It doesn't just have to be someone from our class, but any third grader, and you're gonna write them a letter. Because I know we miss each other a lot right now. I know in talking to you, I'm getting all these messages that says, say hi to one of my friends, and I love passing on those messages, and I can do that today too, but I can do it in letter form. So you're gonna write a letter to a buddy of yours in the 3rd grade, and you're gonna text it to me or to your teacher, and we're gonna forward it on to your friend so that you can communicate with your friend. Okay? If you have your friend's name, phone and phone number, you can go ahead and text it to them directly if you want. Just let your teacher know who you wrote a letter to. Okay? I'm gonna demonstrate how a 3rd grader writes a letter now. All right, sweet friends. For this letter, all I'm going to need is something to write on and something to write with. I'm just going to keep this right in my journal because I'm not going to rip it out and mail it. I'm only going to take a picture of it. So I'm just going to keep it in my journal. And I'm going to get started. Remember, when you're writing on this line paper, you always start on this red line. And we start letters with the word dear, and then we put the person's name. When you are writing names, you always write the first letter as a capital. I'm not writing to one person, I'm writing to all of you, 3rd graders. So again, I've started with the word dear with a capital. I've capitalized the name, or what represents the name, which for me is 3rd graders. If you are writing a letter to Nell, you would say, Dear Nell, and the N in Nell would be a capital. And then I always use a comma. Commas remind us to pause and tell us who we're talking to. Dear third graders, I hope you, and look, I'm not spending a lot of time making sure every letter is perfect, but I'm definitely writing with my neatest handwriting so that my friends can read it. I hope you are all having a great week. I'm excited about that, so I'm going to put an exclamation point. I have really enjoyed talking to you on YouTube, as well as calling you. Now remember, we always start a sentence with a capital and end it with a period. Capital, period, exclamation mark, or if you're asking a question, questions. So I'm going to ask a question now. Have you enjoyed doing the YouTube lessons? Question mark. Okay, now I'm done talking about YouTube. I'm going to move on. I'm going to go to my next line and I'm going to start a new paragraph. I have had fun spending time with Lulu and Penny Lane. They sleep. I made a little mistake, that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. They sleep a lot. Exclamation point. They sure do. They sleep a lot. I often wake them up when I'm recording lessons. I think they get mad at me. I'm going to ask another question. Who are you spending time with? I can't wait to hear back from you. So now I finished my letter. I want to point out that I asked 2 questions. Any idea why I would ask questions? That's right, because I want a letter back. And if I ask questions, there's a good chance that my friends will write me back. So now I'm going to finish the letter, and I can finish the letter by using any kind of sign off. I could say, from Miss Nazaripour, sincerely Miss Nazaripour, best wishes Miss Nazaripour, thank you Miss Nazaripour. But for this one, I'm going to put what I feel for you guys. I'm going to say love. I'm going to put a comma. I'm going to go down to the next line and write my name, Miss Nazaripour. So just to recover what we learned, we always start a letter with dear. Names are always capitalized and followed by a comma. We always use our best handwriting so our friends can read it. We start with a capital letter. We end with punctuation in every sentence. When we finish the letter, we put some kind of a sign off. I put love, a comma, skip a line, write your name. When you have done that, please text or email a picture to your teacher, and we'll pass it on to your friend for you. Cannot wait to hear who you are writing letters to today. If you have enough time and you want to write 2 letters, my suggestion is to write a letter to the person you miss, that friend that you sit with at lunch or play with at recess. But then maybe think about writing your second letter to someone who you don't necessarily play with at recess or sit with at lunch, but who you miss just the same. I know that these letters will really brighten your friend's day. I cannot wait to hear how happy you make them. Don't forget to ask questions, so maybe they'll write back. All right, 3rd grade, talk soon.